Hey everyone, today we're talking about yard hydrants and specifically how they function. Stay tuned for later in the video where I am going to be using an actual hydrant that I have gotten from Merrill Manufacturing, which will demonstrate how these mechanisms internally work. But first, we're going to discuss the specific mechanisms in which hydrants use to pull water from the ground without breaking or without freezing, for example. So the first one that you can take into account when looking to bury a hydrant, or if you're just curious about how they work, is going to be its bury depth. If you look at a map of America, and sometimes Canada will be included in these as well, you will have a certain line under the ground that you need to be burying your hydrant in order for it to not freeze the water. And how you're going to determine this is you're going to take this map and you're going to look at where you are located. If you're in Minnesota, for example, you're going to have bury depths from between 6 and 8 feet. And so you need to look for a hydrant that specifically will be buried below this depth. The second part to the functionality of the hydrants is the actual mechanisms. And here's where we can look at an actual hydrant. So if I take my Merrill Flow hydrant, this is just a cutaway which can show you sort of the mechanisms of how they work, right? So you have your hydrant here, which you open it all the way, and you will have, if I take this off, you'll have water coming out the spout at the best velocity that this hydrant can handle. Now most hydrants, at least up until a few years ago, most hydrants, and still most of them today actually don't have this variable level of water that can come out. And you'll have the best hydrants that people use nowadays will all have this feature. The Flow was the first. So the plunger will actually open down here a certain amount depending on how open you have this hydrant. So if I say this, you'll notice the plunger is lower, and so less water will be able to get into this chamber and go up through the hydrant itself. This plunger for the Flow is specifically designed to work with this hydrant. You're going to have a different plunging mechanism on different hydrants as well, but this is the same build construction that you're going to find in essence across lines of hydrants. Hopefully today you've learned enough about how hydrants function and the mechanisms inside a hydrant, as well as the bury depth you need to buy in order to have a hydrant that's not going to freeze up. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button and liking the video, maybe even leaving a comment about situations you've had in the past with water hydrants. I know they can be, yard hydrants specifically, can be really finicky, especially if you're trying to put one in for the first time. So go ahead and leave a comment down and I'll try to respond to you as many as I can. Thanks guys.